Our Sydney Charles talked with a local financial and economic expert about what's happened today.
And she joins us live in studio to break down what the new tariffs could mean. Sydney, what'd you find out?
Hi, Eric. Hi, Emily. Yeah, the new measures announced today include a baseline tariff of 10% on all imports and additional taxes for other countries. An economist I spoke with says all of this creates more uncertainty about the long-term effects these tariffs could have on consumers.
Placing large tariffs all of a sudden on a variety of countries does threaten the economy.
President Donald Trump announcing reciprocal tariffs on Wednesday.
The message coming out of the White House is that other countries have relatively high tariffs on specific products compared to the tariffs that we place on their products. And so the answer is to reciprocate.
Associate economics professor Greg Wright believes confusion about the tariffs may potentially bring down how people feel about the economy.
Using tariffs as a negotiating tactic can be effective, but on the other hand, it just adds so much uncertainty. I think uncertainty is really the thing that's driving a lot of the decline in consumer sentiment and business sentiment.
He says what Americans can expect to see for certain are higher prices.
The foreign producers now have to pay, let's say, 25% more to sell their products in our country. And so to some extent, those producers will pass that tariff cost on to U.S. consumers.
There's a very real possibility here that the best case economic scenario is stagflation.
Fresno financial advisor Brian Ullman says the tariffs will impact everything from daily goods to cars.
Take Ford F-150s, for example. They're largely manufactured in the U.S., but they have components that aren't. And so even cars that are mostly put together here in the U.S. still are going to be affected by these tariffs.
He says the best way to analyze what's to come is looking at the past.
We use history as a guide. Prices are going to be higher. It's probably going to create an economy that is growing more slowly, if not receding. And it's pushing inflation higher.
In just a few hours, 25% tariffs on all imported vehicles are set to go into effect. That will happen at midnight. Reporting live in the studio tonight, Sydney Charles, KC24 Local News That Matters.